Hello and welcome everyone. Danielle here from Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm so glad that you have joined me today for some community distance Reiki. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching this on the replay, know that you are guaranteed just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, go ahead and check out that description box below. I'm here the same days and times every week, 5 times a week. I do sprinkle in some occasional extra streams around world events and astrological and planetary influences. If you want to be the first to know, go ahead and subscribe with notifications on, and you will be able to take advantage of every opportunity to get some Reiki and crystal healing. So if you are new, go ahead. Hello! If you are new and if you are live, go ahead and click that live chat button. Feel free to make any requests that you have for healing, whether it's specific or general. I'm happy to choose some stones for you, or you can recommend some yourself if you would like. If I have them, I will add them to the grid. In the first half an hour we have together, we will build a beautiful grid to the specifications and requests of everybody here. And after that, I will briefly explain what Reiki is, a little of what to expect, and for the final 25 minutes, I will turn the music up, turn the lights down, and send healing to you wherever and whenever you happen to be. So let's go ahead and check out the chat. I see some folks here already. I've actually already added a couple crystals by request, and I cannot wait to jump in. So Grace and Korakar, welcome back, both of you. So good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I love seeing you both. I am doing well, and I am staying cool during the heat wave. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we are doing okay. We are doing okay. Philadelphia is hot, not as hot as other places, but definitely hot today. I've got some crystals by request of Grace, and so let's go ahead over to the crystal grid. Okay, so here we are. So we've got our usual copper out, including some small spirals here and here. This will help to optimize the flow of energy, break up any blockages, and all of that good stuff. We've also got some honey calcite, wonderful for relating to other people, boundaries, optimism even in the most challenging of times, but also for attracting good friends, colleagues, and even love interests. This is a stone that can support you to give a little in terms of making space for others, while at the same time not giving up too much of yourself, being able to stand firm in your needs and your wants and your desires. We also have chrysoprase, which is a wonderful stone for getting going after disappointment, and also for folks that are getting kind of burnt out or feel like they're not seeing the forest for the trees along their general path. When we're working really hard at lots and lots of things and we have a big goal, it can be easy to think that we're just never going to get to the end. This is a stone that helps you to take a pause, get some perspective, and see how far you truly have come, and that your efforts so far, while maybe not taking you exactly where you want it to go, are certainly worthwhile and valuable to you. So it's a good one for any kind of disappointment, any kind of bump in the road, any kind of burnout type stuff going on. So I hope that helps. And anyone else have any requests? Oh, we have from Korakar, we have Sunstone, Moonstone, Citrine, Rainbow Moonstone. Let's get started. Citrine, Sunstone, Black Tourmaline. Rainbow Moonstone, Black Tourmaline, and Red Jasper. Cool. And Red Jasper, there we go. And hello, welcome in, Vincent. Good to see you again. So let's go ahead with some orange sunstone. This one has a lot in common, like a lot of overlap with chrysoprase. This is one that helps us to see far beyond our our previous expectations of ourselves and any preconceived notions of what we're able to do and what goals we're able to reach. It helps us to dream big because we did not come here to play small. So we're going to put that out there. This is a stone I recommend working with anytime that you are making plans for the future so that you don't sell yourself short as you're making those plans. Let's see. So Rainbow Moonstone, we were working with this earlier. Rainbow Moonstone, this it's actually white labradorite. This stone helps us to connect with our divine feminine, as well as all of what that means in terms of like the old time meanings of this. The wisdom, the understanding of cycles, but also the connectedness to spirit. This stone helps to open up your intuitive abilities for things like mediumship. It's a fantastic stone for mediumship, as well as tarot reading, any kind of divination pursuit. This is a great, great stone. Really helps open the third eye and also the crown chakra to a point too. We've got red jasper, which is deeply, deeply grounding. This is a great stone to have sometimes when we're doing upper chakra work or any kind of work that has to do with intuition or spirituality, anything along those lines. Sometimes we can get a little unbalanced. It can be a little bit difficult to feel connected to our physical body and to take the spiritual lessons and advice and actually make them actionable. This is a stone that can help balance a stone like Rainbow Moonstone. These stones can be greatly uplifting, so they work well when we can feel empowered in our physical bodies to make the changes we've learned about. Red jasper can help ground and heal any kind of, this is also a great stone for working with things like trauma. It allows us to feel safe. It allows us to start to renegotiate the here and now in terms of safety, especially for folks where the here and now might be safer than the past. So we're going to go ahead and put some red jasper there. Cool, I see those. Awesome, I can definitely support those. We've got black tourmaline, another great stone for anytime you're doing intuitive work, if you're empathic, or if you're just somebody who's sensitive to energy and kind of want to keep your energy clear. If you're being easily distracted by stuff, this can be a good one. Black tourmaline helps to repel negative energy, unbalanced energy, and even electromagnetic energy. If you, especially right now in the time of air conditioners, if you're lucky enough to have one, this sometimes air conditioners can kind of make us feel drained. It pulls a lot of electricity, and sometimes there might not be a lot of shielding around all of that electronic stuff, which is fine for most people, but it can actually cause some like sympathetic reactions in others. This is one that can help you to keep those sort of negative vibes or lower vibes or unbalanced vibes away for you. So I'm going to put those around just to help ground the energy, keep things clear. Can also help us to clear our own energy. There we go. Okay, wonderful. And citrine. Citrine, tried and true for manifesting, calling on the universe for what we seek, especially if it's resources and financial resources. If you're looking to bring in some financial abundance, if you're looking even for a new job, this is a great stone to work with. It also helps to balance intuition and logic, which is, you know, another stone that can work alongside something like red jasper. If the healing of red jasper sounded particularly important to you, this is another one to look at. It opens it. It doesn't sort of dim the intuition coming in, but it does help your mind to focus and be present here in the physical reality while you're processing what's coming through. Hi, Samantha. Oh, you got it. I can support that. Glad to see you back. So let's see what else. So we do have a request for weight loss, financial gifts, wealth, friendship, and prosperity. Absolutely. Definitely citrine helping there. Weight loss, there's a couple of stones for that. Okay, so one is iolite, which I think this is another one that we worked with earlier. Iolite is something that works well for balancing intuition, helping us, especially if we're opening up to that intuition and we're finding it so difficult to ground in our bodies that we're not sleeping. This is one that helps us to also do work in terms of working with our animal guides, to some extent, possibly ancestors, but this is one that helps to open up your connection to your intuition, but also helping to hold a stable, steady space to bring that information through. So it's at once both grounding and awakening and illuminating intuitively. But this also works for weight loss. It's often indicated for that. Hi, Whitney. Okay, you got it. Good to see you here. Another one here is for metabolism. This one is unakite, and I feel like we haven't been working with unakite a whole bunch, so let's work with some unakite. Let's do that. Let's see, how do we want to work this in? Let's use some little guys. Unakite is a great stone for women's health in general. It's a great stone for things like fertility, hormonal changes in life. So whether it's going into menopause or onset of menses, it's a great one for that as well. But also the hormonal changes around fertility, becoming pregnant, and immediately postpartum, for those of you who that's a thing. Also, it's seen to help a lot with fluids in the body and also with addictions. This can be a really beautiful stone. And because it has such a connection with so much hormonal stuff, it's also thought to really help regulate metabolism. So if that can help with your intention for weight loss, I think that it will help. I certainly know that it won't hurt, but it can be deeply balancing for lots of folks. It's one we don't work with quite enough. Wonderful. And let's see, you had wealth, friendship, prosperity. Definitely citrine helping that. I have some ideas for some other ones to bring in. We have the request for physical healing, and also for Reiki for your mom, dog, and you for healing however it needs to flow. The one I was thinking of for your dog, definitely leopardskin Jasper. Leopardskin, Jasper, and black obsidian are my favorite stones for doing animal healing, for sure. And I know we worked with both of them in the last grid too, but it just perfectly suits that. It also helps with anything impacting the skin, working with your animal guides, and also anything impacting the skin. This is one where you can, same in that it works really well alongside iolite. When we connect with our guides and we want to work with them in a way that feels very grounded and empowering and bring their wisdom through in a very earthy and grounded way and make it actionable, this is another stone you can work with. But yeah, it's wonderful for doing any kind of healing work with any animal at all. Leopardskin, Jasper. And physical healing. I feel like one that we haven't worked with in a while, but is usually a big favorite of ours, is Rutilated Quartz. So let's get some of that. Rutilated Quartz is good for any and all kinds of healing on the physical level. Really on the mental and emotional too. It can have a very calming effect on the mind, and it can also help direct healing exactly where it needs to go. It gives us energy, especially if we feel run down after having been sick or injured. It can also help to give us a little bit of energy to fend off being ill or coming down with something. This is one that in folk medicine it was thought to help direct treatments towards the cancer. So if you, especially, you know, I'm dating myself here, but like back to when I was little, like in the early 80s, chemotherapy and cancer treatments were very different than they are now, and they were not very targeted. So a lot of times you were bombing the house and hoping that the cancer died first, for lack of a better way to explain it. It was a lot rougher. This was a folk remedy to help direct the healing towards where it was most needed and away from healthy cells and tissue. And the thought behind that was that these rutiles, these lines within, would help carry the energy right where it needed to go. So if you go to, like I had a healing center on Jewelers Row for years. If you ask the older jewelers, like, what do you give someone who's, you know, struggling with cancer, this is actually what they're likely to suggest. Now, does it actually do that or not? Well, it can't hurt, right? on top of actual care, like, it cannot hurt. It cannot hurt. But it's also one of those stones that there's certain stones that people ask me, like, if I want to start bringing crystals into practice or using them for healing or folding them into what I do with Reiki or other energy healing, where do I start? This is one of the first stones because it's so multi-purpose. This, Rutilated Quartz, Smoky Quartz, and Carnelian are like my top 3 for people just starting out. And then like whatever colors of calcite you can get your hands on. Like those, it's like if you start there, you've kind of got most of your bases covered with really supportive stones. So let's see, anybody else, any other requests? Let's see. So we had good luck, fortune. That makes me think. Good luck, fortune, prosperity, and you're sharing some really cool emojis. And you know what makes me think of is Jade. Jade is all of those things. Good luck, fortune, happiness, friendship, prosperity. It is all of those things. So here is, this is actually a piece of jade. Jade comes in so many colors. We're used to the bright, like jadeite jade, which is the most precious and sought after, but jade comes in almost every color. And I love these slabs. When I had my healing center and shop in Old City, Philadelphia, I wanted more than anything to avoid plastic retail displays because it's just so bad for the environment. And like once they're here forever. It's plastic. Nature has such beauty, and actually this was something that I actually used this particular one to place lighter crystals on, like Herkimer and things like that, so that you could see the clear stones with this as a background. In fact, this slice of wood was part of my retail display. So yeah, there you go. It's we can repurpose and reuse beautiful natural things. And why not? Let's see, maybe. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Put that back there. Yeah, that feels good. That feels really centering and lovely. And let's see. And for Samantha, you had asked for some Reiki for your mom too, and just however the healing needs to flow. I love that concept of surrender, for sure. I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Yeah. That feeling of surrender, of just kind of going with the flow with the universe, that's easier said than done. It's admirable and easier said than done. So let's see what we have. I think that this might be perfect. There you go. Yeah, this comes to me as being like the perfect thing. And this is Chrysocolla. Chrysocolla is a stone of definitely like following your soul's purpose and your highest good. These beautiful, beautiful colors, this like greenish blue. And it looks very similar to the patina that forms on copper. And that's because these actually form in the ground very close to copper, alongside and very close to turquoise, for example, and azurite, for example. They all form very close to copper, so they tend to have those kind of coppery colors, azurite being that azure blue. But yeah, this can be encouragement as you follow your spiritual purpose and new means of creative expression. So making decisions that are in alignment with like your highest good. So if you're kind of like tucking and rolling, and I know you shared some things earlier about like, oh, now I gotta move. It's like, if you're just gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna go where the universe puts me. I'm just gonna trust that there's a plan, and I want this to be in alignment with what's best. This is a great stone to work with. It helps you do that. It also helps encourage you as you surrender to that. So it's empowering even while you're surrendering. So it's definitely following your spiritual purpose. So let's go ahead and bring a couple of these in. Yeah, awesome. Move these guys out a little bit. Maybe these, but let's see. I think we're at that point. Oh, it's okay, Jennifer. Welcome in. If you have any requests, let me know. We're almost at that point where I do the thing where I select a couple of crystals and you all vote on what would fit into this grid the best. Because part of what's at play in community distance Reiki and crystals is that of communal chi. The concept, it actually comes from Chinese medicine, where the more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater the energy potential is magnified. So that helps to make available to everyone a little bit more possibilities. And this is us making that physically tangible with our shared intentions. So I like to add in an opportunity for everyone to kind of decide on what happens next. And I never know how that's going to turn out, you guys. You always surprise me. For those of you who are, new. It's an inside joke. you'll know what it is soon. But I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple of crystals for you all to choose from, and just chat amongst yourselves for a moment while I decide what those are. Okay, I've picked a couple. Let me just grab them for you. Bear with me. The first is going to be Petrified Wood. Petrified Wood allows us... Yeah, there's the answer. Inside joke is now shared. The first is actually Petrified Wood with some crystalline structures within it. So Petrified Wood is an incredible stone, and it used to be a tree, and it had to die to transform into wood. And in that it teaches us this parable of needing to end as one thing in order to transform into another. It helps us to it at once is with us in that grief and loss of who you used to be, and it allows us to embrace the potential and the new opportunities that come with that transformation, especially if that transformation is kind of long term. So anytime you're kind of ending one chapter, beginning another, or deeply transforming internally, Petrified Wood can be really helpful. And on this one, you can see the shimmer shimmer. Pardon my bitten nail. You can see the shimmer shimmer in there. Some crystals have actually started to form in this one too, which is beautiful. So it's almost like a little bit of spirit quartz inside of a piece of petrified wood. And the next is Septarian. Septarian is often called like I've heard people call it like a dragon egg. It can be brown and yellow. This is a piece that you just see more yellow, and then like the brown stripe is towards the bottom here. Septarian helps us to learn the emotional lessons of, like, as we're going through something. So as we're going through any kind of transformation or challenging time, it allows us to learn the difficult lessons that come with that so that we can mature and ultimately become a better version of ourselves for having gone through so much. So Septarian, Petrified Wood. Feel free to go ahead and vote using the live chat for which one you want. You don't have to just vote for one, just putting it out there. And I'm just going to take a moment and briefly explain what Reiki is to anybody who is new to the concept. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, I'm Danielle Stimpson. I'm a Reiki teacher, and I've been teaching for almost 14 years now, and I'm honored to be able to share Reiki with you today. Reiki is an energy in the concept of the cultural understanding, really, from Japan. The indigenous spirituality of Japan is Shintoism. and very much encapsulated into a smaller means of describing it. Everything everywhere has a soul. Energy flows through all things. We are all interconnected. This concept holds space for what we term Reiki, or spiritually guided life energy or soul energy. This energy is, while it is a part of who you are and it is flowing through you right now and it is all the time, it's also flowing through everything else all the time. This energy is like a basic building block on all levels. It allows our mental, emotional, physical, spiritual self to come into greater balance. And as such, our body, mind, and spirit know exactly how to use it and work with it all the time. Essentially, what I'm doing is connecting to this energy that's already flowing through all of us and directing more of it to you. In that sense, your body, mind, and spirit can apply that energy in any way that's in your highest good right now. Feel free to set any special intentions you have around that, whether it's something very concrete and very tangible, or something very etheric, or something in between. If your intention is, I don't know, I'm just here to see what this is about, that's a fine intention too. Morbid curiosity is a great reason to try some Reiki. But essentially, as this energy flows, it doesn't matter where you are in relation to me spatially or in terms of time, because this energy flows through all of those different layers. So no matter what, no matter where, no matter when you are, this healing will reach you as you're watching this video. So it doesn't matter where or when you happen to be. As I send this Reiki to you, you may notice sensations physically. You may get some thoughts, some emotions may come up. You may get some dream images, some, hearing some tunes or something. You may also get some lofty spiritual ideas. Whatever comes up for you is perfect in that moment. I suggest that you get physically comfortable lying or sitting, wherever feels comfortable. Move around all you want and need. If you need to get something during, absolutely grab it. If you'd like to combine this time with stretching or journaling, that's absolutely wonderful too. There's no wrong way to enjoy this time. But go ahead, relax, and I definitely suggest that you don't have to focus on anything, and you don't have to keep a silent mind. You can do either of those things if you want to, but if you feel like your mind might be racing, just take a deep breath. Sometimes what's coming through our mind as we're getting Reiki, it's just a really beautiful time to mentally sort some things out, or maybe it's some intuition, so hear it out. And as I send, I will have the music turned up and the lights turned down. The lights will gently and slowly move through several different colors. They will not strobe or anything like that. So you're good on that. And at the end of 25 minutes, you'll hear my voice come back in and invite you to take a deep breath and come back to your body. After that, I'll reopen the chat and I'll happily take any questions, or if you want to share any of your experience, you'll absolutely be invited to do that. If you're watching this in the future, or if you think of any questions later, you can go ahead and use the comments or check out the description below for all of my social media as well as my community Discord. If you want to learn more about my online Reiki classes or sessions or tarot readings, anything like that, go ahead and click that description. It's all in there along with the days and times that I regularly stream. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure to share this healing with you today. So let's go ahead back into the chat and see what we're adding to this grid. Let's see, what did we get, y'all? Both. It's always both. Yeah, I never know how this is gonna end, except that I always do. So here's our Petrified Wood. Here's our Septarian. Oh, that looks really beautiful. Thank you so much for helping build this grid with me. This is really unique one. Even though it used so many of the stones that we used at the 4 p.m. stream, it's still such a drastically different vibe, and it just feels so different from what we normally do. And I was just actually looking up the astrology of the next few weeks, and I'm like, all of this matches that perfectly. So thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and get comfy. Relax, close your eyes if you like. I'm going to go ahead and start sending to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. I will see you in 25 minutes. Enjoy your session. invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. You can slowly begin to move or bend. As you come back to your body. If you have any questions or anything to share, I invite you to use the chat. Thank you so much for being here this evening and building this beautiful grid with me. Oh, you're welcome, Jen. You're welcome, Grace. You're so welcome, Whitney. Good to see you. Come back anytime. And for those of you who might be watching me for the first time, I always keep these recordings not only labeled by the picture of the grid in the thumbnail, but I also include the names of the crystals in the description, just in case you want to find them locally. You can do so. It's a lot easier when you know how to spell them. Ariel, good to see you. And you're so welcome. Glad you're here. Septarian is good for emotional growth. It's good for like while you're going through something, to learn the lessons you need to learn so that you can emotionally mature. And while doing that, it encourages and empowers you to live up to the lessons that are best learned. So it's for emotional maturity and emotional growth. Here, I'll turn this to white. Yeah, and I have these in the shop as well. LearnReikiPhiladelphia.com/shop. It's also linked in the description as my very small, very humble crystal shop online. This is another example, and this is raw. So this is what it looks like when it mostly has the brown. But generally it's brown and yellow. You're so welcome. Ariel has a question. What do I experience doing it, and do I have any reflections on the experience? Yeah, for me, it's just a very intense energy session. It's like I get very kind of tuned in and just sort of in the flow, in a sense. And I feel like I'm just channeling a lot of energy. And the best way to describe it is sometimes I get intuitions or just sort of knowledge. Sometimes it's about like a new thing to do in, as far as a video for all of you, or sometimes it's something as far as Reiki teaching. I might get some ideas as to like how to explain something, or right now I'm updating my manual, so I'm getting a lot of guidance there. And sometimes I learn more about the crystals as I'm doing it, but oftentimes I just feel like I'm very much in the session, and it's like I'm getting a session myself at the same time. I hope that helps. It does kind of look like blue lace agate rough. Whitney, you saw a little man in the center reaching his arms out like, yeah. Yeah, it does kind of look like that. It's like, especially when you do, it's like, hooray. Or even that can be the legs. That is a really cool observation. And it does look like a really happy, really grounded, like, little man of expansion. Absolutely. Yeah, blue lace agate rough. I love blue lace agate rough. I have a piece here. It's a really gentle stone, but it does look very different, polished. You're so welcome, Samantha. And then blue lace agate polished is like just this baby blue lines and stripes. I only have little pieces of it tumbled, or polished rather. Yeah, so different. Oh, okay, absolutely, Grace. I'll add that to the list. Yeah, so especially for those of you who are new, I recently did a pre-recorded, not so much a live stream version of lesson and energy healing. And so I did one on stones for protection and energy clearing. So you can watch that anytime you'd like. It's available in the, if you look in one of my playlists. And next is going to be intuition. We had the most votes for that one. And then I can do one for love as well. Absolutely. I'll continue going on making those to requests for sure. So basically I go through several of the stones that I most use for a particular subject, and I go through each one and describe them at length, and then I send you a distance energy healing that, you know, right through the video. Yeah, you're so welcome. That is so totally on the list. Awesome. And by the way, new Reiki class dates are available on the website. All of my online Reiki classes for level 1 and 2 are on the website. I'm going to announce Reiki master classes through the end of the year soon, very, very soon, like within the next week. But yeah, online Reiki 1 and 2 through the end of this year are up on my website, open for enrollment. Reiki master coming soon, and yeah, we'll talk about some in-person meetups too. It just kind of depends on, you know, different types of plagues, which are around and more prevalent at a particular time. But yes, I will be back on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern US time to do more live streaming. I'm here 5 times a week at least. Every Wednesday at 4 p.m., Thursdays at 8 a.m., Fridays at both 4 and 8 p.m., and Sundays at 8 p.m. And I do pop in for occasional streams based around world events and astrological movements and things like that. So if you want to be the first to know about those pop-up streams, go ahead and click subscribe with the notification bell and you'll be the first to know. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to an end, and I'm so grateful to have all of you here, to have new folks. Definitely feel free to come back anytime you like. Absolutely love sharing this time with everyone. And thank you so much for the requests. Helps make this grid what it is, and it really did become quite the beautiful and unique grid. I definitely love how this turned out. So I hope all of you have a beautiful weekend. Definitely make sure to stay cool because it is going to be hot in most places. Philadelphia for sure. And I will catch you on Sunday, or if not Sunday, sometime soon. So take care of yourself and be well. Bye now.